created, you know, going off trail and batting it down, creating some erosion problems and things.
How busy is this trail on the weekends?
On the weekends, there's a ranger station that keeps people from getting in, so there's a waiting list, and a 15-minute wait to get onto the trail. You have to wait people to exit the other side before the next person pops in. They have I was just telling Ray, they got a train stop right at the trailhead now. You can get off the train on Metro North, go hiking, so you get a big crowd.
And kind of looking at the geology, it wasn't my major, but as an earth science teacher, it's something that I'm definitely interested in and excited about. It looks like there's some sort of vein of, or intrusion of these large igneous type rock crystals. Again, I'm not super familiar with the geology of this area. I don't know if that's some sort of contact metamorphism or just, you know, igneous rocks that kind of intrude into this area that will be solidified. I'd have to kind of get the rock hammer out and break into these to see what else is what we're looking at. But super interesting geology. If there was anything really worth.
It's all good.
I'm just like, it looks like
What's all sedimentary?
I'm thinking it's igneous though. Like you could see all the intergrown crystals. Initially I was thinking it was all sedimentary because it looked like rock, you know, large sediment, so it would have been like a pretty active delta where the water was flowing pretty quick and you only had time for these larger sediments to be deposited. But in breaking this apart, it's all intergrown crystals, so this is a nice, just coarse grained igneous rock, like a large granite.
Nice.
That nice would be the metamorphic, but just large, just nice crystals, good chunks. Definitely something to bring back to my classroom and some of my geology co-workers to say, hey, what's going on here?
Fill me in.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with like the fact that this whole thing was carved out by a glacier?
So carved out by a glacier, which is why we have this awesome U-shaped valley here.
Right.
And maybe it just carved right down to the deeper igneous bedrock to get us down there. But this is definitely what you're seeing here, the intergrown crystals, definitely a nice chunk of igneous rock. So something to look at, something to play with, bring back to the classroom and have the kids try and identify it.
That's cool. I want to see that hammer for a second. It's rounded, so it's definitely something that's come out of a river and doesn't match any of the geology that's up over here. So it's transported up here somehow, some way. I mean, to get a river stone this big up here, obviously somebody must have transported it up here themselves. But when you look at it compared to all the other local geology, it doesn't have the same sort of mineral crystal composition. Obviously a lot less resistant to weathering and erosion, which is why it is so much rounder and smoother. I was just trying to kind of chip into it to see what was going on the inside. But it's very, very fine, very, very small. I would think it was a sandstone. It looks to be a sandstone. The reddish color?
Yeah, the reddish color and just the as small as the grains are, it has that kind of that grainy texture of the sandstone wood, and they kind of wear down relatively easily.
compared to all these other rock types up here. But this is something I feel like somebody, why they want to brought it up here, I have no idea, but it's definitely something that was transported here. It isn't just falling off through. Again, if I take a clear surface, again, you see more of like the intergrown crystals, and we were just looking, Matt and I over here, at this exposed vein of really super coarse crystals, trying to figure out kind of how that formed, why that formed, and it's some sort, it looks like it's some sort of igneous intrusion inside of this larger igneous kind of geology that's in this area. So something that I definitely want to look into more now that I've been here. Research the history of the formation of these rocks. And it makes sense, being that these peaks are so high, that it is this kind of more weathering resistant rock. It's more of a felsic igneous, but the kind of granite and everything that you'd have countertops made out of. Probably, I imagine they used some of this area as quarry at some point or another. Just looking at the different stone that they have, but it's definitely really cool geology. Now I've been here, it's something I want to research and look into more.
So what's interesting about, if you look here, this is a type of lichen, which is actually, there's three types that we talk about. There's crustose, you have foliose, and then you have fruticose. And we call them bioindicators because they actually tell us about the environment that they're in. So just like with amphibians that are great at showing us water quality, so if amphibians don't do well in the water, we know the water quality is not great. This actually tells us the air quality. So here we just have crustose, which usually indicates not great air quality, which, you know, is indicative of an urban area. We're in the suburbs right now. I know it doesn't really look like we're in the suburbs, but we're right above 9G, so this is the suburban area. So if there was better air quality, you'd see foliose and you'd see your fruticose, which are more substantial. But all we have here is the crustose, which is the less substantial. It's really just this flaky thing. So if you have foliose, you have fruticose, they're kind of like bigger, kind of bushier, easier to peel off. And many people just look at them, they think that it's just moss. It's not moss, it's actually a fungus and a algae that actually form this mutualistic relationship. So symbiosis we always talk about. They live together and they provide each other with different things. One is the environment, one provides energy, and that mutualistic relationship creates this lichen that, you know, everyone just kind of thinks of as being a moss on the rock, but it really is its own entity. More of like a foliose, where it's kind of easier to peel it off. And then you'll see the fruticose are kind of like a little bush. So based on these things, yeah, not even so much that they're actually taller. So that's more of like a foliose as well. So you know that kind of shows how it's kind of getting further away from that suburban area. When you go, if you ever go to you know, a really urban area, you're not going to see a foliose. You're never going to see a fruticose. You're just going to see this crustose where you really can't even peel it away. So those are the different lichen that you're looking at. And once again, it really shows you the quality of the air in the area that you are in at any given time. And you know, we like the bioindicators because, you know, you don't have to bring any test strips or anything like that. You kind of can just see, hey, look at this. You know, this tells us if it's good air quality. You know, just like amphibians. If amphibians aren't living in a pond, not doing well, then you know that you know that the water quality is.